Hello everyone and welcome. My name's Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. Today, very quick update on Cardano. So very recently, in fact actually last year or so, Hoskinson did a stream announcing a potential bridging of Ethereum and Cardano. Well, I believe that this time is edging closer. So there is a rumor or announcement of this happening potentially next week. So the launch of Cardano to Ethereum converter testnet. So this basically will help bridge these two blockchains together, involving essentially lower costs, quicker speeds, things like improved security. So there's loads of really cool positive aspects when it comes down to this, including smart contracts as well, I think, as well. So 1/1000th of the cost what it currently provides. So that's something really interesting to take a look at. The other thing as well to mention is the integration of Singularity now on AGIX, which again will be used as a tokenomics for that bridging and will happen, I believe, next week. So there could be a potential increase in the price in terms of movement upwards on 3 of these tokens. Now, I'm not sure about Ethereum, whether that might reduce the price, but we'll go into the chart in a second. But obviously more and more companies will potentially move over if the tests are deemed successful, of course. So we just need to anticipate that for any kind of opportunity in the near future. So I do think we might see some price influxes on that aspect at some point for sure. So let's just go into a quick overview of the charts on these 3 assets. So I think although this would not kind of flip the positioning of Ethereum and Cardano immediately, but I do think certainly potentially it is the beginning of this happening. So maybe in the next 5-10 years, we might see some big developments of Cardano flipping Ethereum. It all depends really, of course, on market caps and things like that. But generally, I think the adoption of Cardano is going to be absolutely phenomenal moving forward. But for now, let's take a look at these charts. So Cardano very much pushing that potential resistance line of $2.96. Hopefully, we can barge that across to hit over to $3. And then the world is our oyster. In fact, the next levels up, it could be a clear way through to something beyond $4. We'll have to see, but in the next few days I'll do a Cardano update on a bit more of a short-term anticipation once we've had a bit of stability over the next few days to get a more accurate reading of this chart. But I do anticipate us sort of moving towards that $3.50 as a testing point as well. So everyone's quite bullish on ADA at the moment. We've had a bit of the profit taken, of course, over the last week in a couple of different opportunities here, but the stability is there and that's what's key. The MACD looks very positive, unlike many other crypto assets out there right now. And the RSI is floating just above 70, so there is still room for improvement on the growth pattern as well. I can't see it dropping down just because of this news on the testnet and other aspects of Cardano just plowing through this year with fantastic news updates. And of course, the smart contract launches as well in September. So it's going to be an absolute gigantic month for Cardano, and that's where I think where people had the predictions of $5 to $7 really could be correct in that situation. Moving on to AGIX, so Singularity Net, again very good bullish momentum. Most exchanges have this still as a Bitcoin pairing, but I do believe KuCoin has it as USDT as well. So I'll just double check that. But we'll have to see. Maybe hopefully Binance have changed that now as well. But we've had good support at 0.27. Shifting up to 0.3 to 0.31. There is a bit of resistance there, as you can see. We can't quite push that barrier, but I believe we will. AGIX is a phenomenal project. We will do a video on Singularity Net next week for you guys, because the interoperability with Cardano moving forward is going to be absolutely gigantic on the AI infrastructure. And I do believe it will just tie in nicely and give an ultimate project for sure. So keep an eye on this price. RSI, again, quite much in the middle, so it could go kind of either way, but I do anticipate a bit more sideways movement, perhaps till next week, where then obviously there will be a potential increase because people will want to get hold of the AGIX to do this testnet program of swapping from Ethereum to Cardano. The MACD is very much bang on the middle, so do anticipate a bit of volatility in this area before we see an upside movement. I don't anticipate any more tail offs of the profits. What I like to see here is this is hodling here going on, because we've had some sell-offs, not as big as this over the last 3 days, and it's been matched like for like pretty much on that anticipation of volume. So really strong project, fantastic opportunity, and go and check out some of their videos as well. The founder is extremely eccentric and I absolutely love him. We will cover that as well in the next video. And then finally, Ethereum. Ethereum I have to thank really, because I did buy Ethereum last February and March when it was next to nothing, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. It helped me build my portfolio and get into crypto. And I've made massive gains from something like £75, and I sold it at like 2,000 odd. And I only bought one of them, but it was enough to encourage me to reinvest in other areas, in particular Cardano. I'm pleased with that decision. I think Ethereum is, of course, going to keep doing great things for the future. It's one of the native traditional cryptos out there in blockchain technology, for sure. Back in the day when it tried to do what Bitcoin was doing, and Ethereum Classic, etc., was created because of hard forks and so on and so forth. So it's been around the block for a number of years, but there are multiple projects out there like Cardano, like Polkadot, like Elrond, that are trying to do this, but better, quicker, faster, cheaper. So keep an eye on this momentum. It'd be so interesting to see the growth differences between Ethereum and Cardano, particularly in this year, and particularly in the whole cycle of this general run of the last 2-3 years. So keep an eye on this. Ethereum in general, doing what it's doing, very much loads of room left in the tank. For the MACD perspective, if I can get rid of this, is still in a bearish opportunity situation, but you can't complain about these numbers. 340% plus above for year to date, on the weekly, a bit down as we can see on this, but I do anticipate us to steadily transact within this area still of 3,300 and the 3,000 mark before we start pushing the barrier for this opportunity to 3,500, and then the momentum should take it beyond there, where we start hitting the all-time highs, and we could see something like this again as we saw in May. Maybe obviously towards that sort of $5,000 to $8,000 mark, and people have anticipated. So we'll cover these three again next week once the Testnet launch. But until then, guys, I hope you found this informative, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.